Welcome to Empowering Innovators. Today I have with me Elias Ghanem, who is the Chief of New Technology and VP of FinTech at Capgemini. Welcome, Elias. Thank you so much for having me here. Really happy to have you. Today we're going to talk about innovation in the industry that Capgemini is active in already for quite some time, which has been changing, I would say, in the last 5 to 10 years. Can you point out a few of the major trends that you're dealing with, which are very different than they were some time ago?
I think I will start by one concept. We've always been living on the build or buy. All our clients, all corporates, either they build their own technology or they buy it.
Right.
Build is too slow. Buy is too expensive.
Right.
So now all the clients are looking at us saying, what do I do in order to innovate? And the answer is collaborate. Find somebody outside that is doing it faster than you and work with them. By the way, it's way cheaper and way faster.
So you're looking at ecosystems where you can plug into potential new partnerships for yourself or also for the clients of Capgemini?
It's mainly for the clients of Capgemini. Today, in my organization, I am in charge of the financial services. So our clients are the banks and the insurance, but at large, Capgemini covers all the sectors.
Right.
Clearly, our banks clients and our insurance clients are saying, I need to innovate. There are the FinTech, the InsurTech that are coming and becoming much more customer focused.
Yeah.
There are the big tech that are coming with the customer focus and data and money.
Yeah.
And we, as traditional players, are struggling to catch up.
Right.
How do we do that?
Yeah.
And our approach is, well, there's an ecosystem of startups outside.
Yeah.
Let's pick and choose the right one.
Yeah.
Let's build the new experiences and let's make them work.
Yeah. So Capgemini and you yourself have become a partner of Startupbootcamp, the programs on FinTech, commerce, doing that now here in Amsterdam, but also in Australia. What has been the outcome so far, looking back from where you were a year ago and where you are today? What are maybe your insights that you can share with our audience?
I would say three things. First, we co-created with Startupbootcamp a qualification program. So thanks to your knowledge and our background and our expertise and the startups, we got together and we did a co-creation of a module that helped us evaluate the maturity of the scale-ups. That's one. Second, a fantastic network of startups. The new trends, but as well that the trends exist, but need to be boosted up.
Yeah.
And third, what got me more excited is the atmosphere where you see corporate, you see startups, and you see providers like us that collaborate in extremely safe and friendly and open environment.
Right. But it's not so easy, right, for a really large company to work with a really small, scale-up that has already some systems or processes in place. That's not, on paper those things make sense, but in practice, working with a large company for a small company is difficult and the other way around. Can you share some of the things that you've noticed and maybe some of the solutions that you're providing as Capgemini as well to make that more effective and accelerate basically?
For us, what we have seen is it's all about the risk-taking, operation, and the people.
Yeah.
Risk, we come from two different planets.
Right.
Business is about low risk. Corporate is about low risk, pure execution. Startups are about high risk, that's breaking.
Yeah.
Operation. Well, one thing in common here between startups and corporate, they share the same three letters, MVP.
Yeah.
But while a startup is a minimal viable product, here it's a maximal viable product.
Right.
Let's make sure that it's fantastically built, so we push it to the market, versus the startup will say, let's throw it to the market. People, culture, it's all about willing to try it, to take the risk, to jump. So what we have noticed here is we are able to combine the three things, the risk, the operation, and the people. We will make it happen. And our role as Capgemini is to be the orchestrator, where we go talk to the corporate, we understand what is the business pain, what is the opportunity they have to work on. We understand what are their strengths, and we want to empower them, but what are the weaknesses? And usually the weaknesses are due to the fact that they don't have resources.
Right.
Then we understand the governance of integrating a startup, right? And that's the people side. And then we make sure, and then we finally define the perfect experience.
Right.
If we were to find startups outside, how it will look like, and if we were to find the startups, how will we bring it on board? And that has been we call it the diagnose step of the innovation.
Right.
Where before I match you, I need to make sure that there is opportunity to match.
Yeah. Do you distinguish between startups and scale-ups?
Big time. You know what? I'll be kind of provocative. Startups are fun, but not good for corporate. Startups, we at Capgemini are known to be into the effective business. So if we were to bring startups, the time to adoption will be too long, and the culture change will be too much. So we are firm believers and in love with scale-ups. Scale-ups which are startup-minded, but corporate operating. They already have the right people. They have raised enough money, and they have the right business traction. So when they talk to corporate, they are more or less talking the same language.
Right. So that basically means that you work together with some of the startups in our programs, but in principle, to effectively work with them together, they should be basically a year or maybe 2 years out of our program. So our alumni are probably more relevant for you in the corporate startup collaboration than the teams that just go into the program in the first place.
So here I would say, one of the things that we really enjoyed with our program is we were able to influence also on the recruitment.
Right.
And we asked to always have 1 or 2 scale-ups invited to the program. So while we can clearly leverage the alumni, and we are a lot, we are also leveraging the fresh scale-ups.
That are coming in.
And we bring them, we work with them. And by the way, we finished the first year. The one that we are working with, continuing, is FinCom. And FinCom was a scale-up already in the program. And now we are taking it as we speak. In fact, they are meeting today with one of our clients away from the Netherlands, in Europe, but away from the Netherlands, because for some reason, a client, a bank, our consulting team, and the scale-up got together.
How do scale-ups respond when you reach out to them and say, listen, you have a solution that will help me to serve my customers better?
So that scale-up have 2 weaknesses, which are our 2 strengths. They have a fantastic product, this is their strengths, but their weakness is credibility and distribution. Our strengths is we bring credibility and we bring distribution. So if we use their strengths, which is product, experience, and tested solution, with our strengths, go-to-market, and credibility, it's a perfect mix. And today, in fact, it's the scale-ups that come to us and saying, we've got to know you through the program, we know your approach, we know the people, and we know that you can open doors for us. And the approach, the agreement that we have come with them say, go knock the door on clients. The minute a client opened the door, because now all clients are looking for startups. But the minute a client opened the door, come back to us and tell us, I opened the door of this client. What do you think? And our promise to the scale-up is, I will take the name of the client with the person to my sales team, and will ask the sales team, what do you know about Mr. A, B, and C from bank A, B, C, and D? And I usually get 3 answers. Oh, he is the perfect guy. I'm more than happy to help. I have no clue who this guy is. Or, I know the guy, but he's not the right guy to work with. And my commitment is to go back to the scale-up and saying, we are with you because we know the guy. We are not with you because we don't think he's the right guy. And by the way, you may not want to continue. Or you know what? Let's explore it together. So we reduce the time.
You're a filter. You do some curation actually to make the engagements more successful.
We call it qualifying, in fact.
Within the company, within Capgemini, and also the startups or scale-ups that you work with, do you distinct between product innovation and business model innovation?
I don't want to differentiate, because at the end of the day, I want the end customer to be served. And if it takes a product and an experience, so be it. And by the way, I'm more believing that scale-ups are not here to solve the entire value chain, but there is an orchestration that needs to happen. So I'm more than happy, usually I bring in a product scale up, a business scale up, a front end scale up, and by shaking them and by incorporating them with a value chain of a client, we end up with better customer experience.
Sure. So it's very clear that corporate startup collaboration is part of your innovation strategy, basically, to be part of ecosystems and to help your customers better. If you look at, let's say, the internal innovation side of Capgemini, you as a service provider, what are the major changes that you are seeing there, and how are you looking to where the market and technology is going?
So first I would answer by the people. We are investing a lot in our people to train them on the new technology and to make them meet as much as possible the startups.
Yeah.
So there is many from Capgemini that came and mentored here.
Yeah.
Why? Because not only they are here to give, but are here to learn as well. A lot. And by learning, they learn about people, but they learn about technology. That's one. For me, AI is at the center of any new experience. Voice is at the center of any experience, and data is the blood of any new experience. Here, and I cannot not mention the word blockchain because you have to mention it, but it will take time. Having said that, AI, data, and the right experience is what is fueling the new business line with the customers.
Right. For Capgemini.
Completely.
Completely. Okay. Hey, you're the leader of the, let's say, the FinTech domain within the company here in Europe and the ecosystems that you're involved in. Can you point out some things that are new? You already mentioned blockchain, obviously, which is a big topic, but it still feels that we're looking for the right solutions and business models. But you mentioned AI. Are there any other things that you're seeing from the startups that you see passing by your desk, or big trends where you'll say, hey, this will have a huge impact on the FinTech industry?
For me, voice commerce. By far, if I were to bet on one thing that is happening, is voice commerce. And for me, the best way to think about it is if you go around the street and you look at the gifts, at the advertisement for the Christmas gift, it's all about the personal assistant. So the voice is entering in every household. Well, it has never left the household, but now there is a hardware that is coming into the house. What if this hardware become my interaction with my bank, with my travel agent, with my grocery shop? And hey, bring me the food. Or hey, I want to travel with my family. And the voice will tell me, yes, traveling means I need to talk to hotels, I need to talk to airlines, I need to take to somebody who will finance that. And then the voice will tell me, the system will tell me, I'm giving you an experience where you being in a car or you being at home, you know that taking your family to Argentina in Christmas will cost you 15,000 euros. And based on your financial savings, you can only pay cash 50% of it. But because I am your personal advisor, I've already identified 3 sources of financing, and your rate is A, 1, 2, and 3% on the spot. Get it? We moved away from a product relationship to an experience. Right. And voice is at the center of it.
I mean, we obviously see a lot of activity from the major tech players, the Amazons and the Apples in that domain, picking up my voice and serving me in a certain way as servants, basically, with using technology. Do you see scale up or startup activity in that domain? Maybe on the AI side, on the data side, on the payment side? What kind of activity do you see, or is it still early?
Oh no, in fact, when we look at this big one, the big one are buying already the
smaller ones.
The small ones, because they cannot catch up with the innovation. So for me, startups now have 3 models. One is I want to do it my own. Second, I want to collaborate with corporate. Third, I want to be bought by one of the 3, the large one. And you know what? It's not either or, because on a one-to-one with customer, I learn a lot. With corporate, I scale and I raise my valuation. And I get myself sold for hundreds of millions to one of the deep pockets of the big tech.
Let's move shortly to talent, digital talent. Entrepreneurship within the company. I think that you will see, and we discussed this briefly before our conversation, is that the needs also for a company as Capgemini are changing on what kind of talent that you need, or how people should be basically re-educated on certain topics. How important is the talent topic for Capgemini, and how are you dealing with that?
We're a company of more than 200,000 staff,
right,
across 45 countries. And our main domain, our core domain is technologies.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's why I am the Chief New Technology Officer, because we are preparing the future.
Right.
So you could imagine how talent management, talent improvement, reskilling is important. For that, we have several initiatives, being educating on the ground, matching people, but also our presence in Startup Bootcamp reached this objective. We want our people to be part of this interaction with the startups, to learn out of it. We have put in place this Capgemini Scale-Up Qualification Program, during which every employee will be interviewing and challenging scale-ups and their answers. Yeah. Why are we doing that? To learn about the scale-up, but also to educate the people. And finally, from a technology perspective, today we have partnerships with all the large players, AWS, IBM, Microsoft, and so on. And they are here to tell us to learn. We are learning with them about the whole cloud strategy, the whole API strategy, and our people are becoming the orchestrators of a very different landscape that require the very small, the very big, and the legacy of our clients.
This whole vision of changing, let's say, the capabilities of talent and having them operate as mentors for startups, so they learn how these startups think and learn and engage with them, learn how to engage with them. That's something that is driven by the passion that you have, the vision that you have, but you also have leadership, let's say, what you have to report it to. How important is it that the fact that your leader basically helps you to drive this forward?
It's our organization went through a major reorganization recently. And under our CEO now we have two COO. One CEO is to drive the performance, bring the
daily operation, the execution, basically.
Exactly. And the other one is about transformation. Let's transform us so we can help others transform. Higher than that, I can't.
You cannot go up. So this is driven by C-level.
Definitely.
From the core, basically. So what's your vision on where you will be on these topics in, let's say, the next 12 to 18 months? What are the challenges that you're facing where you either need help from the ecosystem or how to get there in the most effective way as a company?
Two directions, I would say. On one side is being fueled by innovation. So, and this is where the startup ecosystem come to play. On the other side, in the other axis, is having corporate adopting this innovation. And for me, the biggest challenge is culture.
Right.
So we need people like Startup Bootcamp, like InnoCell to come with us and work together in fueling through the startups, but educating also the corporate. So in this axis, we ended up in the best space with the best of innovation and the best of culture of the corporate.
Right. So it's very much about the mindset of the people.
Significantly.
To change that and to be more open about how to innovate basically in a different way, more in a startup way.
It's risky. Let's face it.
It is, right.
All our corporate, whenever we take them innovation, they see it as a threat. Why? Because I've been operating this way all my life. Who are you to tell me that you could do it differently? Until I convince you that I'm not putting you at risk, but I'm giving you a better way to use your time, you will be resistant.
But I can imagine that for you, this is not that complicated. You've worked at companies like PayPal, you've been the CEO of a startup, a scale-up by now. So for you, this is in your veins, but taking that back to a large organization with 200,000 people, that must be challenging, right? A company doesn't transform its culture overnight. How do you deal with that?
That's fun. By the way,
that's fun. Okay,
that's fun. But by the way, also I've learned it. I started my career at Visa, a large organization that would do few releases a year. Moved to PayPal, where we would do much more releases a month. Moved to my startup, where we would do a release every minute. Now, but that has been a journey. Now I am building the same journey on the other side within our organization, where we are helping. And we are a large committee from an innovation perspective, from an internal innovation, say, what shall we put in place?
Yeah.
With whom should we partner?
Yeah.
What are the tools we should put in place to make evolve the culture within the organization, so we can help better our client evolve their culture as well.
Sure, very clear. Unfortunately, we've already come to the last part of our conversation, and I just want to ask you a few straightforward questions, which I want you to respond to very direct and very Dutch almost. So the first question is, how would you define your personal and Capgemini's innovation journey so far?
Challenging.
What is your favorite startup or scale-up, probably in your case?
Adyen.
How do you deal with work-life balance? A topic which we discussed.
That?
Yeah, well, there you go. I remember that you told me that your wife said something about work-life balance, right?
So my wife said that I was cheating on her, and I said, no way. I said, yes, you are spending more time with your startup than with me. And she was right.
Right. Book everybody should read about innovation and disruption.
From 0 to 1.
So, Elias, the end of our conversation. Thanks so much. To thank you to be here today with us, coming over all the way from Paris. I bought you a little bit of a present. It's the new book of Reid Hoffman, founder of LinkedIn, and it's called Blitz Scaling. So it's about scaling even faster than you can even imagine. I hope it will give you some inspiration and the startups and scale-ups that you work with. And I hope to see you very soon back again here at our headquarters in Amsterdam.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you.